Alright, so kind of want to talk a little bit about point of no return. And basically, in game situations when we are trying to time fights together, where is the point that we can get to on the map without giving up basically our advantage? So, the farthest point up on the map that you can go without getting into a fight that you can't get out of, basically. And I've got Streets up because I think Streets has some pretty good lanes to illustrate this, but I'm actually going to switch over to Recharge because I think that, I don't know, the last Strongholds game that we played, we really struggled with timing our fights together. Like we were taking the correct paths, but we were just slightly off in our timing. So, first, if we are making a break, and let's say that it is Strongholds, the other team is a setup based team, so they're the blue team, and they have B, and they have A, and they've got a pretty typical like matchmaking kind of setup where you've got a guy setting top A, you got a guy like Whirlpool, you got a guy, let's say Bat Ledge, and you've got a guy top gold. And obviously with this kind of setup, we're all spawning at C. We have C, but the other team is scoring, um, and just trying to figure out how do we take advantage of this situation to actually break through. Um, so what we have here is, let's say, oh, we all died, and then they get into this setup, and maybe somebody spawning or whatever. So the first guy up, he's either going to spawn, say, long haul, or he's going to spawn at C, and he has a choice to make. He can either go into white, or he can go long haul, and eventually our break is going to look something like in an ideal world, we're going to have two guys coming this way, and then the last guy's going to trail and kind of jump up boxes, go into Whirlpool, or you can Shroud and maybe go bottom A. Like he's the trailer, and he's going to hit some random path. So let's say he's jumping up the boxes. So the problem is when we're in this fight, there are a couple lines that we cannot cross. So first, we basically can't get past this line in glass. We can't go past big door, and we can't go onto ACAT. So these lines, and obviously, can't go this area, can't go this area. Um, these lines represent the point of if I get into this area, I'm in a fight. And obviously, there are other areas too that this impacts on the map. Like we basically can't get anywhere in batteries. We can't go to this part of the pit. Like we can pretty much get all the way to here before we get into a fight. So the parts of the map that we have access to are obviously all the C area, the back blue area, and long haul. But the second that we start drifting through here, we're starting to get shot by crosses, and if we start to back up, this guy's just going to step out and kill us. Same thing over here. Once we get into ACAT, you're just getting melted by this guy, and even if you get into A, you're just weak, and then the guy top A is going to finish you off. Guy Whirlpool comes, maybe you kill the guy top A, but then this guy comes and this guy comes and they finish you off. So what we need to get better at as a team is recognizing these points and not trying to cross them until we're all ready. So if I'm the first spawner, my job is to get into white and to set like mid stairs, and I'm crouching. I'm not trying to take a fight. If someone is dumb and they walk in here, then we can fight them. That's fine, because even if it's a trade, it's good for us. Whenever we're doing breaks, the more people off the map, the less lines of sight that the other team has. That's good for our team. But if they have people alive, we can't get into these other areas. But if he walks in here, we trade or we kill him. That's great for us. But the idea of first spawner, you want to set here, not move. Second spawner, we have an option. I mean, we can send a guy long haul. The second spawner can come and set with this guy here. He can go like the bottom door. But the idea is we're not ready to fight yet, so we're not exposing ourselves. So let's say he just sets in this corner. He's watching bottom A door, making sure no one comes. And then the third spawner is going to go long haul, and you can either set on this box and set up a curb slide where you're going to curb slide bottom gold stairs, or you can get up here and just set in the corner where you're not exposing yourself down glass. You're just kind of setting here. It kind of depends. Like if you can get to here without being seen, this is probably better. But if you can just set on this box, as soon as this fourth guy gets up, you're going to have an opportunity to curb slide into gold stairs. Because the ideal scenario for me is for number 5 to say, okay, 8, whoever you are, we're going to shoot this guy backwards so that he cannot cross us as we go ACAD. So maybe your top white or bottom white, either one, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, step forward, we both shoot at the same time. This guy is either dead because of the team fire, or he's one shot and he's like, I cannot cross, gotta back up. And then as soon as that happens, these two people have to go. They have to be moving into A because they've only got a very small window of time before this guy starts peeking again that they can get through. So they're going, hopefully almost full shields, to double team whoever's here. While that's happening, this guy is now curb sliding in here, or he's going here because he's going to go and try to fight the one-shot guy that's up top gold. And then this guy is grabbing the shroud, and he's going to shroud one of these directions. He can shroud it. Obviously, the best timing would be to shroud a cat while these guys are crossing, or to shroud top gold so that the people here cannot see this guy. Either way, he's grabbing shroud, he's shrouding one of these directions, and then he's getting up into whirlpool. Because basically, the timing would be that these two guys arrive, they kill one, and maybe they trade one, that's fine. This guy gets the alert from his teammate that, hey, they're capping A, and so he's coming this way, and then you're going to jump up as this guy is turning, and now we're in another 2v1 scenario. Meanwhile, this guy either kills him straight up, hopefully because he's one shot, or trades out. Doesn't really matter. Let's say he doesn't trade. Now this guy has a choice to make, but we have numbers, and we're flipping the map on them because eventually we kill this guy, and we're going to start spawning A, and then we take over the map. They're going to start spawning C, and obviously we can run through our strategy at that point, whether it's to hold or to sit still. But the idea is we have got to stop getting to these areas before everyone spawns, because every time that we get to one of these zones and cross early, we're just messing up the entire push, and we basically have to wait on a second set of respawns to happen before we're able to push. And so I was going to illustrate that same thing on streets, just for everyone's reference. I think the points of no return on streets, if you're coming from Seaside, is right here. You can't cross here because you'll start getting shot from Guy's Cafe, and you can't really back up at that point. So this is one of the spots, and you can actually get up driveway. You might have to take a long route and go through here. You might have to go through like B stairs, but normally the point of no return here is going to be like right where caution corner is. So that's when you're coming from C. When you're coming from A, same thing. This spot is just a death spot, and I think probably around here if you're coming from A, and obviously like top B stairs is a death spot coming from A, like attacking C. So we've just got to start having these spots in our mind as we are pushing up the map, so that we are not putting ourselves into scenarios that we can't win. Pretty much anytime we get into one of these areas, we need to be pushing as a team. So what's unique about live fire, I would say, is if we're coming from A, there's this huge path bottom mid that we can just normally get for free because not a lot of teams are blocking bottom mid. So it's actually really helpful because there's a lot of ways that you can approach this. You know, from bottom mid, you can also go from Kedor up to Cuts. If you're not going bottom mid, obviously just coming out of A, a lot of times it's hard to even get to like this area. Like you can get to sandbags, but once you get here, you're going to start getting shot from B. Obviously, if you cross into this middle area, you're going to get shot from tower. You can't come out big door by yourself. You can actually normally get pretty far here, but I would say the point of no return is somewhere around like the bottom of Cuts. Once you get into this area, you're going to start being seen from tower, and people are going to start collapsing on you. And then from Seaside, pretty similar. Like, once I get to this bridge area, I'm pretty much at a point of no return. If I get on this bridge, I'm in a fight. Obviously, anywhere top mid area is just dangerous. And then the same thing about the bottom of cuts. It's hard to push forward, but bottom mid's a pretty good access route for kind of sneaky, like, too early plays. So keep that in mind. And this same kind of thing exists on every other map as well. Obviously, we have a bunch of other places that we can look to, such as Solitude, say pushing out of A or out of Tram. Like, you can't get past Flower Door, really. Once you start getting into this area, you're going to get shot at if they're holding C. Like, if they're holding top blue. If not, then you can pretty much get to here. Same thing here. Once you get to Loop, like this area, things start getting tough. So just think of it as like the points on the map where things start getting tough. And then if you're coming from Seaside, same thing. You pretty much can't cross this door. Obviously, depending on how far they're set up, like if they got a guy posters, can't get past this door. If not, then you say there's a hill like here. It's going to be really hard to get into yard from the yard door. Obviously, sometimes when you spawn bottom lift, it feels like it's almost hard to go anywhere because you can't really go this way because they could be top blue, they could be on ledge, they could be top tower. Like, there's a bunch of different areas. And then going out this way, obviously, if you have like just getting to this area and getting down this, it's hard to go by yourself. So that's really all I have for this. Hopefully it makes sense. We'll talk about it later though. Thanks.